And just like that, we're back. Welcome to Chris Sees the Internet. Every week right here on PlatformCollection. I used to say every Sunday, but it's Wednesday. We moved the show to Wednesday. Or the release date on Wednesday. You'll see it first on Wednesday. We got a lot of things moving around over at PlatformCollection. Shout out to the whole team. This is the week of the Happiness of Pursuit Festival. If you're watching this in the week that it came out. Happiness of Pursuit Festival is this Saturday in Ontario, California. You can still get tickets. The Happiness of Pursuit Festival. I believe it's thopfest.net, thopfest.net. And get you some tickets, man. It's going to be a hell of a show. A hell of a show. You got Reason, The Far Side, which is because it's spelled The Far Side, like the way the word is, as opposed to how they used to spell it with the PHAR. Because it's not all of them, right? I think if you know the story of The Far Side, there's been a few different iterations of the group. But I guess this is the majority of them. And it's going to be crazy. The Far Side puts on an amazing show. And they got catalog, right? They got hits. Ooh. They're gonna start that stage on fire. Sci-Hi. He's going to be there. Crazy. Barbarian. Sugar Free. Ninth Wonder. Locksmith. Open Mike Eagle. Ninth Wonder and the Mussolini, by the way. Afro. El Camino. Crisis. Propaganda. Sadistic and No. Lucy Camp. Soundtrack. Bella the Rapper. AWA1. Whitney Payton. Defi and Ariano, King Orca, 60 East and Friends, and many more. Man, it's going to be crazy. Yours truly will be there as a part of the Invisible Ponchos. We're going to be over on the Common Ground stage. I've now had the pleasure to rock all the stages now. So that's cool. In fact, let me see here. We are on at 1:45. 1:45. So right in the day. We're early. We're rocking over on the Common Ground stage. Shout out to Curtis King. He's going to be hosting. Noah James. The whole Brick to Your Face family. And that's a stacked stage. It's going to be fire. It's going to be fire. And we got a good show. We got a good show. Be there. Be there at 1:45. Trust me. You're not going to want to miss it. And yeah, so we've been getting ready for that. And a bunch of other things. A bunch of things we've been planning throughout this last year are happening all right now. And we knew it was coming up. We knew a bunch of stuff was coming up. We got a tour coming up. We had some festivals, some shows, and really the Invisible Ponchos. Thanks to the whole team, we're all kind of pushing that bus right now, just because it's the most active. The Invisible Ponchos is we're recording music. We're shooting videos. and we're releasing like a slew of music from here to the end of the year. And for us, it's show season. So we're booking a lot of shows, looking to do a lot of shows, all that good stuff. And yeah, so with a lot of moving parts, we found that this show is better suited for Wednesday. So you'll be getting the same show. It's just on Wednesday. And today, if you're tuning in for the first time and you don't know what we do, we dive into underground and independent art through our eyes, through the eyes of the artists that create the art. We talk to artists. We do whatever we want, really. I do what I want. Yeah, we do whatever we want. But mostly we like to talk to creatives and share what I like to call like the cheat codes for maneuvering not only the business side of this, not only the artistic side, but the psychological side of independent art and through the eyes of underground hip hop. Excuse me. I was parched. I was a little parched. But yeah, man, that's what we do. We break it down. And I myself am an artist. I do a bunch of different stuff. KILLcRey is the name. You can call me Chris on this show. And yeah, we dive in. And then that's it. You can ride with us. We're going to be doing some special stuff on this show. In fact, I'm talking about the Happiness of Pursuit Festival. And yes, we have a guest today, by the way. El Niño, great friend of mine. I call him Little Bro. A super brave and hardworking artist. Not to mention that he's extremely talented as well. But those other two aspects of him, I really love a lot. I admire a lot. He's very brave, very forward-thinking, not afraid to pivot. And we're going to be talking about that a little bit. So if you tuned in for El Niño, stay tuned. He's coming right up. In fact, we'll get into him first, and then we'll talk. You know what I mean? And cover some of the stuff we talked about with El Niño. Out of Orange County. Still, even though he's representing all over South America and Spanish-speaking countries, killing the game. This is not his first rodeo either. He's already done a stint as an English-speaking rapper, English rapping rapper, and killed it. He's humble about that, though. He's like, But people know the name Ends, because that's what he used to go by, Ends. And I think he could have still gone that way. But he made a shift, and he's in the world of Spanish-speaking hip-hop. And it's a blossoming world if you know anything about it. I mean, it's killing the game. The entertainment business is being flooded right now by Spanish-speaking hip-hop and urban music. But I digress. He'll tell you more about that himself. El Niño, my fam, hopefully now your friend after you watch this. He's an amazing dude, inspiring dude. And this is my conversation, mine and OG Hip Hop Eddie. Shout out to OG Hip Hop Eddie, our producer on the show. And don't forget, get your tickets, ThoughtFest, the Happiness of Pursuit Festival, thoughtfest.net. THOP, I'm not saying thought. The longest running joke amongst us ThoughtFest brethren. ThoughtFest. You got to know that joke I made like the first 1 minute of 60 thinking of the festival. but it is not. So I've been hearing people say T-hop. I like that. I heard Open Mike Eagle say that on his podcast the other day. T-hop. So it works. I see. I mean, I see why you would do it. I'm old school though. You know, I was there on day one. Thop Fest. We suffer for the name. We suffer in saying it. Sure, it can be confused for a lot of other things, but it's the principle. Independent hip hop, underground hip hop, thopfest.net. And here's my conversation with the homie, my fam. Follow this dude. Killing it, man. His music's so good, too. In any language. This is mine and OG Hip Hop Eddie's conversation with El Niño. And the last time we talked to you, you were kind of barely starting the transition into like branding with El Niño and your Spanish music. Like, what has been like the, you know, describe it a little bit, because I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't know how that works exactly. Like, you already were kind of finding success as a English primarily speaking rapper, and then you
Kind
went
of,
into
I would
Spanish.
say.
Okay, so talk about it a little bit.
Well, first of all, thank you guys for being here. It's always a pleasure. You guys are like family, so it's always good to see you guys as homies,
Yes, sir.
before
Yes,
work.
sir. Yep.
But yeah, man, the transition has really just put a lot of things into perspective, and it just really confirms to me that, like, you know, the the right time, or like God's timing is the perfect timing. I wouldn't say I go to church every Sunday, but I definitely hold down my spirituality, and I always feel like everything happens for a reason. And like, when I stopped you, when you said that, like, ends the underground backpack rapper that I was for the last 10 years, for a whole decade plus, um he definitely, like, was developing his sound, but business wise, it wasn't cracking. and
Mm.
and I knew that, and something in the back of my head told me, like, I don't know, should I change my name? But I never really did it on my own until I was approached by someone that wanted to manage me, and someone that had the vision already. And he kind of just gave me that push to, like, just jump off the cliff, take that leap of faith, and we're gonna go with start from scratch. Whatever you did, forget about it. Like, we're starting from scratch. And me, like, obviously you kind of get scared to let things go, but
Sure.
when when you really love music, like I love music, so, like, I don't really care about, like, what I've done in the past. It's about what am I doing right now. And that's what really, like, I've learned from, like, legendary people. Like, yeah, like, whatever you did in the past, cool. Like, what are you doing today? What are you doing right now? So that kind of just, like, that was the no-brainer for me. Like, cool, we're starting all over. Like, whatever happened 10 years ago, like, cool, what are you doing today? Like, what's going on, um so, El Nino has slowly just really, I've been really, like, just shedding layers, man. Like, a lot of, like, excuse making, a lot of, like just doubt, fear, like, just go for it, pull the trigger,
Yeah.
just really executing and surrounding myself with, like, those individuals, really. So, like, yeah, the transition has been, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Just life changing.
What are some of the you said, like, pushing through, like, some of the fears and some of the maybe the doubts. What are some of the ones that you deal with when you're, like, making stuff? Is it making content? Is it putting yourself in front of the camera? Is it, like, what
Yeah,
is it?
that definitely was one of the bigger, like, the biggest ones. Making content and getting in front of the camera and talking
Mm.
to the people.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, I love rapping, and rapping, like, is nothing, but I consider myself, like, half introvert and half extrovert. Like, I love my alone time. I love my recharge, like, time by myself.
Yeah.
But then I also can, like, be in the crowd and be out there and stuff. But, like, I like to do both, you know. So I wouldn't consider myself one more than the other. So yeah, definitely the camera. Um, that's pretty much the only one I could think of. What
It's
else?
a big one though. That's a big one. Like you're
I
not the
think
only artist who's talked to me about that one in particular.
I think wasting studio time, you know,
Mm,
knowing that, you know, it's been years that I don't have my own studio, that I don't have the luxury of like having my own studio to just record whenever I want.
yeah.
And at the start of El Nino, I was required to turn in like 3 to 4 songs a week. And
Oh
by
wow.
the time Wednesday came and I didn't have that third song, fourth song, like I was I was like, it's almost like you're hitting the gym at this point. You're hitting extra reps, your body's sore, you're turning in 3 to 4 songs a week. You've never done this before, but then it starts becoming normal, and like just like that uncomfortable feeling is really like it right there, because now I'm just like, okay, my next challenge right now, like we were talking about, is the camera. So like literally I'm waking up every single morning, and it's cool because I get to involve my little brother who is having trouble finding like something that to be passionate about.
Yeah. Oh, did he freeze?
Yeah, he looks frozen there.
Think you froze, man.
Things where I'm like, I'm just giving my all, and like just giving my everything to my craft, and just like completely just giving it all, like, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you? Yes, I do know. I do. And I feel like it's man, I know what you mean about the challenge of the camera thing, because I think about like the content that you make. I follow you. You know, I'm always interested. I'm always rooting for you. Like it's.
I
But
appreciate it.
I see you jump in front of the camera, and you've always, since I met you a long time ago. Like you've always had a really good way of making it seem like what you do is very just natural. Like you're just a
Right.
natural and it comes at it. But I also have seen, you know, behind the curtain a little bit and seen the work ethic that you've put in throughout the years, whether it's, whether you're into your fitness at some point or your stage presence or constructing a stage or like all the different things that you do as commitment. Do you feel like when you look at yourself, are you like, oh, I'm a natural, or are you indeed just a really hard worker?
That's a really good question. First of all, I consider myself very like hyper at
Mm-hmm.
times, and I've been that way since I was a kid, and I've been kicked out of like all my elementary and middle school and even high school. Like, and I wasn't even that, thank God, like I never went to jail or like juvenile hall or anything. I was like super, super close. Like I played with fire, and
Yeah.
I was super close to like being in those situations. But I feel like I've always been misunderstood. And to answer your question, uh, it's I'm not a natural, and it I think it's just a hunger to succeed. And once I got really good at rapping, like I even like started using it as a mask, where like I'm just being 100% straight up with
Yeah.
you guys.
Yeah.
Like we're like, okay, like, when you feel like something's missing in your life and you just get really good at something, like obsessively good, and then you end up like using it as like a shield, where it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
like they're not going to know this much, but they're going to see like that I'm like doing something really, really good. And that's just something as well that I've just been learning how to like just take that mask off and just be me. And El Nino really like has been helping me with that. Not only just me by myself, but like being checked by my team, like what kind of content are you making?
Mm.
Like you have to get everything approved now. And at first I'm not really the rule type, and for 10 years as ends I didn't follow any rules. I didn't have a
Yeah.
structure. I did
Yeah.
whatever the hell I wanted. I didn't have anybody. And at times it's bittersweet, but following rules brings results. Having structure brings results. And structure makes me uncomfortable sometimes, but I know when the results come in, I understand why there needs to be a structure and there needs to be rules. So shout out to my whole team. That's like, you guys know who you are, and like, you guys are real with me, and like, in simplest terms, they go, we roast you first so the world won't roast you when you put that out without our
Wow.
approval.
That's
You
dope.
know.
That's dope.
So,
Uh,
no one likes to get roasted, but you're just like, all right, you guys can roast me instead of like having the whole world roast me for posting some corny shit, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, talk to me about is the dialogue between you and the audience that you're connecting with, how is it different from where you came from as a, underground hip hop independent artist, primarily speaking English? Like, how is it? Like,
Yeah.
what are the? Do you pay attention to different things now when you're looking at your audience? Is it, are you getting different types of feedback? How's it different?
That's a that's a great question also. I've been having trouble completely letting go of English,
Mm,
and what I've been doing is, first, like, I started letting go of English on my IG, but I was still like all English on my Twitter. And then literally my team's like lurking through all my platforms is like, all right, put those Twitter fingers in Spanish now. Like, all right, that
mm,
Snapchat, Spanish, please. Like, this Spanish, like everything. Like, I'm just slowly, they're just kind of crossing off the checklist, and we're just kind of, what do you call it? Like, tweaking things where it's just
yeah.
like, okay. And slowly I'm just like, okay, I just officially like started using my Twitter all Spanish, but I told everybody that I was going to be writing captions. So, I just did a post about my event happening on Saturday. I'm going to be giving away free pins, and
I
I
saw
was
that.
speaking in Spanish, but there's English subtitles in the video. So
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to still include my English speakers, but at the same time, like, I just want to be able to do me to my fullest,
Yeah.
and knowing that like I am going a lot to Mexico and Guatemala, and like, God willing, I'll be going all over Latin America,
Yeah.
and most of the people at my shows are most like bilingual or they're like Spanish speakers. So I just want to be able to still like run that with the market that I'm targeting. So
That's dope. That's dope. I wondered because I was like, I know even though like Spanish hip hop, even reggaeton, even like like it runs parallel with like just normal traditional hip hop, but I also know that the things that are within the subgenres in the different parts of the culture are different. Like sometimes there's
yeah.
just different ways of approaching things. There's different slang. There's like a lot of different things. Is it like when you look at people doing or at least occupying like the lanes where you dabble with, are you seeing like other artists like are you seeing interesting things that happen, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Do you see interesting things that are happening in Spanish hip hop that aren't happening in English hip hop?
The only thing that comes to mind would have to be my last show in Mexico City.
Mm-hmm.
How, shout out to Eptos Uno. I'm sure you've heard of, I don't know if you
Yeah.
guys have heard of
Yeah.
Eptos.
Uh-huh.
Um, Great artist, great human being. And, I was fortunate enough to be invited to his show. And you could just tell that this show was like pure, like, just community. Like, this building was full, and you could just tell it was like just the hoods,
Yeah.
and he's a hood superstar over there.
Yeah.
Like, Eptos
Yeah.
is that guy in Mexico City. And I was just blessed enough to see how like Psycho Realm gets so much love out there. How, I don't know, it's just a different type of thing. Like, after I was done performing, nobody knew who I was, but since I had done a good job, I could tell like I captivated everyone's. I forced everyone to like pay attention to me, like, with
Yeah.
my stage presence,
Yeah.
and they weren't shy to come up to me. There was a line to take pictures. I was giving
That's
them
cool.
free stickers. I was like trying to get everybody's name and like just try to be a good listener, you know. And it was just cool to like just be there and experience the different types of like engagement. You know, I feel like every time you do a show here, it's
Yeah.
very like I don't know if people are just in their own bubble or they're socially anxious. I don't like to assume everybody's too cool. Some people are just socially anxious or they're shy. I
Yeah.
don't know, but I don't know. Everybody lives through like the IG world more over here. Over there, it's like I don't know if like over there they're just not shy to come up to you. Like, bro, that was
I
dope.
think
Let's take a
it's
pic.
I think it has a lot to do probably with appreciation, I would assume, like I mean, the West has there's a lot of things that we lose appreciation for because we're around it so often, right? And then especially
Like
like
spoiled.
literally, yeah, where you're located in, right, is on the West Coast within, you
The
know,
Mecca.
right, exactly. Exactly. So I think that's maybe what
Everybody's
it
trying to
is.
be that.
Right, right. I mean, how many shows, as when you were doing the English stuff, like how many shows would you go to where, the
Crowded
half the
rappers.
audience was people that wanted to just trade places with you on stage. They weren't there to just appreciate the music. Where I think overseas you see that more as people appreciate the music. They appreciate what you're
Yeah.
doing. Yeah,
Yeah, no, definitely. And it's just super humbling where they just, I don't know. I feel like everybody has their pros and cons, but I feel like they're happier with less in those
yeah.
areas.
I mean, you probably, there's probably a lot of truth in that, dude. And you wouldn't, obviously you wouldn't be the first one to say that. There's a lot of people who kind of feel that. Let me ask you about this, like, bro, because you are still barring the fuck out on your music, dog.
Yeah.
Because every time you post something, I'm like, God damn, this
Appreciate you.
motherfucker is still barring fuck out. How important is it to you still? Because you could have, like, you make, which I love, by the way. I love the fact that you like to make catchy music as well. You like to make people move. Like, I love that kind of shit because to me, being able to be good at all of those things takes way far more creativity than just being good at one of those things. And I like the fact that you like to put all your skills on the table, but you bar out, bro. You're a fucking rapper's rapper. You always have been. Is that still like a real important thing for you to do? Like when you're making Spanish, like you always have to have at least a couple songs where you're just barring the fuck out.
Yeah, I really appreciate those like words, man. Like really, I've just, you know, I look up to like legendary people, man, whether
Yeah.
they're dead or alive. Like, you know, Tupac's my one of my favorite rappers. Kendrick Lamar is one of my favorite rappers. And every time I'm in the booth or I'm just writing, like I just think like, would these people fuck with what I'm doing?
Mm.
So
Mm.
I just like have that in mind where like I'm always envisioning, like I literally just saw Kendrick on last Friday
Yeah.
at the I was gonna say Staples Center. It's the I don't know what it's
Yeah.
called
Yeah.
now.
It's always a Staples Center.
It's always a Staples Center.
Yeah.
Man, like so inspiring how like, you know, I see these superstars performing for 2 hours straight. And you know, like I'm slowly building up to that. You know, I practice so many songs now, and I'm writing down my list of like so many songs that I have memorized because I'm trying to get to that like 1 hour, 2 hour mark and be chilling. And
Yeah.
like it takes a lot of work and all that, but bars are super important to me. I feel like not just as a rapper, but like not just the bars, but I just feel like vulnerability and
Hmm.
like that new single that I just released with the video. Actually, I haven't released the single. I just released the music video on YouTube. It's called Comida China, which
Yeah.
is Chinese food.
Yeah.
Um, uh, that song in the verses, I'm talking about women, sexual, like what the world wants, and
Yeah.
in the hook, I'm saying like I'm out for money, power, respect. And if you don't hang around with people like that, you're hanging around with idiots.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like and it's like and since they don't pay attention to rappers, I have to mix my bars with rum and coke for you.
Yeah.
Like
That's hard.
So like I'm kind of saying it in their face, like, look, I'm giving you what you want in these verses, but in this hook, I'm telling you what I really feel.
Yeah,
And like I have to give you my bars with like mix my bars like rum and coke, because you can't just take my straight rum or
that's
my straight
fire, dude.
coke. So it's like, and I just kind of see that as like it sucks, but that doesn't mean like I'm selling out or any of that. I just know how I'm gonna open this door. I'm like picking the lock.
Yep.
Hmm.
And you know, this project Sueños de Plata is basically dreams of silver. Plata in Spanish means like dough, money,
Yep.
dreams of dough, like
Yep.
Sueños de Plata. So it's got 6 songs, and then it's got a bonus song. And the little homie Giovanni Castillo is on the cover art. He put foil in his mouth, kind of like bling bling,
Oh,
but it's
I saw the, yeah, that looks dope. I saw that.
yeah. Shout out to Elefante Creative, which is like the creative agency. Like my manager and his team, they like came up with that. And literally he said he shot it on the iPhone. So like literally day in and day out, he'll be telling me like, no excuses, bro. Like we can make this happen with like less.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I'm not a baller yet. Like, you know, I really want to quote this video because I know like I'm on to something bigger. But like, you know, just get it done, get creative. And you know, which is why like a lot of my videos aren't big budget baller videos. And I feel like they have a little bit more substance than the baller videos, because obviously like it's almost like, yeah, they bring the girls in, yeah, bring the house in.
Yeah.
And it's kind of less of a storyline and more like, let me show you all these shiny things.
Yeah, and
And
how many people can actually relate with that? You know what I mean? Like people can't really relate with that. There's a very limited amount of people who can only relate with that. I think
yeah.
bro, you've always have relatability though. That is to me as just an observer of the culture. Like I think that's been one of your strong points from the beginning. Is like
I'm
you know
trying.
from the jump, dog. You know, but that says
But
a
the
lot
only,
about you, bro. Like it just says a lot about you as a person though. Like I said, I've been able to see you away from the camera or away from the mic and you know you're this person, this is who you are, you know.
yeah, yeah. And I try not to like change and for like the likes or for like, you know, I don't want to lose myself
Yeah.
in none of that. Like TikTok, you know, I was almost losing myself for a second because I was falling into what works on TikTok. Let me dance goofy, or let me do something goofy or corny. And like let me, and then like like literally like I had to stop and be like that's not you. And it's gonna be hard for people to take you serious.
Mm.
So I had to go back to the drawing board, and now I'm pushing my stuff in a way where I know that like I'm doing it best. And like I rap. That's the thing I can do best. So I'm literally in the middle of the street while cars are passing, rapping with a
Yeah,
Oh, I
speaker,
saw
I
that.
love
with a
those.
Yeah.
speakerphone.
I love
And
those.
just today in the morning, like, you know, I didn't have any more content, and now I literally wake up like content is like a breath of air. Like, and I didn't, and I really wanted to get to that point, and it took me like literally it took me years, because a lot of overthinking, a lot of doubt. You know, I didn't have it just wasn't time. It wasn't time for the egg to hatch, as I guess that's the best thing I could
Yeah,
do it.
yeah,
But now, like, now it's out, the egg is out, and like this project is just like one little baby step of like what's coming. And like it's like all produced by the homie Slowly. Slowly is a very talented 21-year-old producer out of LA, and he literally just dropped another project yesterday with another artist that my manager works with. I think he goes by Tony. And like Slowly is working his ass off right now. Like the dude is just like amazing. He plays the guitar. Um, he just plays a bunch of different instruments. He makes like super like any kind of beat, any mood. If you need a singer, like anything, like he's just like naturally gifted. So you guys will be able to check out Slowly's production on
dope.
the
How
project.
many tracks on the project?
it's got 6 songs and then 1 bonus song that like ended up being added on last minute. So it's got 7 songs altogether, and I'm dropping another music video from the project on Friday. So like
Nice.
2 days. So like 1 day,
Any
2 days.
features you can talk about? Are there any features on there or anything like that?
Man, I guess I'm trying a little harder for the
Uh-huh.
features, but I'm still solo dolo Mr. Loner on the
Nice.
project. I
That's
I I
good.
just end up eating the beats, and then I don't leave room for everybody else, bro.
You gotta do. Hey, dude, a young man has to eat, my friend. A young man
Dude,
has to
like
eat.
sometimes, like literally, like now I've just been doing like, okay, if I don't like this second verse, I'm taking it off. And like lately, that's what I've been doing, where I'm just like I have no features. Like I literally have 2 more projects coming with no features. I mean, I know it's a good thing because it like makes you look like you can stand on your own, but at the same time, like artists, I feel like this took me years to learn as well, and I want to share this because I care about all you artists that are trying to make it. There's
Dope.
enough money out here.
Give
There's enough
him,
money out
those
here.
gems, bro. Give him the gems.
I feel like one thing is like y'all, we gotta work with each other, and we gotta be on
Mm.
everybody's radar by being on each other's radars of like your fans listen to you, my fans listen to me, and like we just everybody needs to work more instead of like I'm out here, I'm gonna be the one, I don't need to work with like people.
Yeah.
And like that's just something that has been a downfall. And like literally there's rappers that book studio time and they hit up 10 rappers in one day, pull up verse, pull up verse. Why?
Yeah.
Because every single rapper has a different fan base. And like
Right.
and you're just like, okay, I just put out why like what, even DJ Khaled, like he don't even, he just makes beats or he like directs them, he executive produces them, and he has like all the superstars on his stuff because he knows like all of their fan bases are gonna be like, okay, like we're gonna listen to DJ Khaled, like, you know. And that's definitely something that I was sleeping on for a while. So I'm making an effort to work more with artists.
That's great, dude. That's great. That'd be really cool. But I'm sure until then, I mean, there's plenty of room just to hear some El Nino right now, bro. You're building, and I like the fact that people get to hear you and hear you for the MC that I know you are. You wanted to say something here?
Yeah, definitely. Bueno, el niño, quiero que tú le mandes saludos a tu gente, a tus fans allá. Quiero que les digas quién eres tú, cómo te pueden conocer, qué pueden esperar de ti en español para la gente que nos escucha en español también.
Claro que sí. Muchísimas gracias a todos los que están escuchando esta entrevista. Yo me llamo El Niño, yo soy de California, pero yo crecí en Acapulco, Guerrero. Mi mamá me tuvo aquí, pero ella extrañaba a su familia, so yo crecí allá hasta los 5 años. Y tengo un proyecto que se llama Sueños de Plata y va a salir este viernes, producido por Slowly Beats. Y espero que nos conozcamos, que nos veamos en persona. Y y sí, muchísimas gracias por todo el apoyo.
Sí, dile a la gente dónde pueden conseguir toda tu música, en qué los redes.
Todas mis plataformas son El Niño Sabe en Twitter, en Instagram, y ahí pueden encontrar todo en Spotify, Apple Music.
Muy bien, gracias, sí. You know.
There it is, there, dude. Bro,
Yeah.
Thank you so much, man. Please come back bro, like you already know, you already know. You have an open door here. Anytime you need to promote anything or you just want to come in and chat, please come through. Guys, if you're looking for an artist and a brand you can trust, El Niño Sabe, just Google that, get on it, follow that. You're watching a brand grow into greatness, so trust me. We've trusted the brand of this young man for a long time. So, and we're going to continue to follow it, dude. Please, again, follow him, dude. Come back very soon, man.
Thank you. I'm going to be having like events soon where it's just like family. So like networking events. So I would love to have you guys come out to grab a bite, whatever, you know.
Hell yeah. We'll be there. It's long overdue, man. I haven't seen you in a while. I want to give you a big hug.
Yeah, likewise, man.
Ahí estamos contigo.
Yeah, all right, I appreciate you guys. Muchas gracias por todo. Que tengan buenas noches. Have a good
All
night,
right.
guys.
All right,
Talk to you
brother.
soon.
Thank you.
There you have it. El Niño. My little bro right there. Follow him, man. That's going to be a crazy journey, dude. He's, I mean, one, I don't know a whole lot of artists who just make the jump from one language to another. That's rare in itself already. You know, I know it's done, and there's, yeah, you've heard of big stars who've done it, but I'm saying it's still very rare. And, for him to do this early pivot, because he's still a young man, you know, still a young man. He's still out there, still got a lot of time to grow. And I'll tell you this, one thing he does seem, I've mentioned this, and I wanted to talk to him more about it, and I didn't get to it, but he is a very manageable artist. And that doesn't, I don't mean that in any way that would take anything away from him being his own man, his own decision maker. But he's good with coaches. He's good with people adding to the sauce, and that's rare because that means he works well with people in general. He's willing to see the vision, which means he's done some work on getting out of his own way. You know, it's impressive. But he's always been like that. And it seems like he's got a good team around him now. So, El Niño, support him. Yeah, man. Did I mention it's the Happiness of Pursuit Festival week? So this next episode of Chris Sees the Internet, I think I'm going to try to do it all from the Happiness of Pursuit Festival. So I'm pulling double duty at the Happiness of Pursuit Festival. The PlatformCollection team has played a part in the Happiness of Pursuit Festival since the first one. And now Eddie and myself run the main stage. So we basically supervise the main stage. We make sure that it runs on time, that the artists are getting on everything having to do with the main stage. Myself and Hip Hop Eddie run that. And the other team, Brick to Your Face, they run the second stage, Common Ground. So Brick to Your Face, PlatformCollection, the Happiness of Pursuit Festival. I feel like it's like 60 East, like little think tank. And then there's other companies we started to work with, you know, more recently, like the Gutted Cigar is one of them. Shout out to Jeffy Obvious. And just there's other companies, but the Happiness of Pursuit Festival, when it started, 60 came to Break to Your Face and PlatformCollection, and we all kind of were like, yeah, we want to help. And just on one, we believe in 60 East a lot. I think all of us really believe in him. We see his vision, and he's one of the very few people that I can say 100% in the industry is a stand-up guy. You know, he will always err in making the right decision, or at least attempting to make the right decision. So yeah, we all kind of got together and we've been helping him do the festival, playing some roles within there. And like I said, one of them is we run the main stage. So I'm performing at 1:45 with the Invisible Ponchos. I've been preparing for that all week. Well, more like a few months now. I've been preparing for a series of shows that we're doing for a few months now, including recording new music and learning the new music, and then doing all the stuff that goes along with it, you know, the marketing stuff. And we've done some press and, but it's a lot of live show stuff, getting a longer show. And then our show is, we don't ever just like play music and rap. We try to put on as much of a show as we possibly can think of. And usually we like to make some sort of narrative for the show. Shout out to Parker Edison, who's been stepping in that area and really helping us in that. I feel like he is the third poncho on stage in my heart. And he helps tell the story. And I know that might sound confusing or whatever. You're like, well, what? What are you talking about? You just got to see it, though. It's not your average rap show. So it takes preparation, takes rehearsal. We rehearse a lot. We've added some more elements to the band. And so we're rehearsing with other people as well. But the Happiness of Pursuit Festival, we're going to kind of unveil it more. So at least another step towards our vision of what we want the Invisible Ponchos to be. Myself and Gene Flo. And that's been taking a lot. So I'm going to perform, and then after performance, I'm going to run over to the main stage and then start helping run the main stage until the end of the show. So it's a long day. Plus PlatformCollection is there, so our team is there. So there's a bunch of moving parts. So planning is very important for us right now, because without it, it's going to be just tough to pull off in general. And that's very time consuming. So I'm consistently switching back and forth from like being creative, trying to lose myself in the music. I'm really, really putting a lot of attention into my performances and how I want that to come out, how I want it to feel, mostly how I want to feel after I perform. And that's usually, I want to feel like I connected with the audience, that we had some moments, and that we turned some people on to some things. That's usually the goal. And so that usually takes creatively me kind of trying to lose myself in the art, in music. These last few rehearsals, like I've been noting to the team that, I'm getting lost in the music a lot more. And being able to turn that on and turn that off in a reasonable amount of time, and sometimes when it's not convenient, takes practice. That makes sense, right? It just takes practice. So I'm doing a lot of that, a lot of practicing in preparing for these next few months. Why am I telling you that? Because this is hard work. It's really hard work. I think about someone like El Niño, and as soon as he found himself, maybe, for lack of a better description, unsatisfied with what was happening with his English music, right? He could have just, that was Bella the Wonder Dog in the studio. Hold on. Come here. Oh, she just wants some attention. Right? That's what you wanted? Word up. All right. Chill out. He could have just cashed it in, right? He could have just said, yeah, this isn't working. Music's not it. But he persevered. He's like, no, I'm going to rethink the whole thing. I'm going to repackage it. I'm going to dig into my own mental state and find like new things that I want to present, because he wants to be authentic, and he is authentic, but he wants to show all the sides of himself. And that's brave, man. And it's hard. Because I'm just saying that in a sentence, right? But literally there's just hundreds of things to consider when making those kinds of choices, right? He could consider, I've put this much time into it already. That was my one chance, right? That's so weird when people get stuck in these, rules that they've learned, right? Because of course they've learned those. Nobody would want to put that kind of unneeded stress on themselves, an expectation of who they're supposed to be or what they're supposed to be, as if like we're not all just living and going through this journey, right? Everybody's kind of trying to figure it out. So all plans are on the table. including complete reinvention. But how do you do that? You got to keep it real. Like, you should really be evolving. You should really not be who you were last year. Because that would mean you have it all figured out. And if that is you, Lord, please tell us all how to figure it out. But from what I've seen mostly is that people are, why do I have J. Cole up here? From what I've seen, for the most part, people are just trying to figure it out. So when you see someone like Enz do something like that, what people would see as extremes, I'm sure people could see that as extreme. His lifestyle is extreme. This lifestyle is extreme. I was just talking to a friend of mine about, and he's in the entertainment business and would like to make a living out of that. And, you know, I fuck with him. So, of course, he's a dude who's not trying to lose his integrity at all. And so that's a big ask. And I know, because I'm in that same boat. But that's a big ask. And so with that comes a lot of work. Because it's possible. It's definitely possible. But it takes a long time, and it takes a lot of work. And so shout out to Enz for Enz. El Niño. I keep saying Enz. My bad. El Niño. Shout out to El Niño. El Niño, El Niño, El Niño. Shout out to El Niño. Killing the game. Brave. But yeah, man, it's hard work. I really wish we could get to a place in art that when people decide or think about taking it on as like a way of life, you know what I mean? Like dedicating yourself to art, being an artist. I wish people would consider all the parts that come with it. Not just the art. Because to create the art and create good art, right, it comes from very real places. And so the art that touches the most people, right, the art that affects change, the art that affects emotion, comes from a real place. That real place can be very painful. It can be happy as well, but it can also be very painful. And a lot of the times it is. Because you bleed a lot to get to that point, to make that piece of art. And so what the audience might see in a 15-minute set, right? They might get a vibe from it, feel the energy. You know, if it goes great, right? They feel the energy. They get, you know, they get turned on. Especially if they were off before. And then all of a sudden they're boom, like lit, shining, feeling great. That's what good art can do, right? Especially music. And so that 15-minute set can change somebody's day, can just add to their subconscious, maybe in a positive way. And those things can last lifetimes. And so creating something like that and it being good should be hard. Right? That's the math to that, as we like to concentrate on here on this show, the math, because I flunked math. But the math of logic is sound. And we like to focus on that here. So it's a big ask. It's a big ask to enjoy a life of art, to enjoy it. You can have one, but to enjoy one, it's a big ask. And it takes a lot. Practice, dedication, change, sometimes reinvention. And the bottom line to all of it is you are in charge of that. No one can stop you from doing it. You could today change everything. Be somebody else. Learn something new, think something new. You can do that at any moment. Especially if you feel like, you're not being satisfied with the path that you're on right now. You can just change it. But you have to be okay with the work. Otherwise, what are you asking for? You're asking for a handout, right? For it to be easy, for it to be fair. Silly. That is silly. Makes no sense. You got to question yourself when you're thinking like that. That's an obvious weakness in just existing as a human being, right? Because life is challenging. It seems like to get things, either there's some miracle event has to happen or you have to work really hard to get it. Especially the better and more important the thing is, or the goal or the place in life is, it's hard. It gets increasingly harder the more you want out of life. But you don't have to do that. You could just wait for it to be over. Or you could take advantage of every little bit of miracle that this life is and just go for it. Go for yours. I'm going for mine. I've been going for mine my whole life. And I've just decided that I will always. Because what are you supposed to be doing? You're supposed to settle down? I'm not talking like family or anything like that. That's all fine. I'm saying settle down in life, like you're just like retire with whatever satisfies you for that time. It doesn't seem like we work like that, right? It doesn't seem like humans stay satisfied. It seems like we're not supposed to. I've heard some pushback on that, right? Well, you should just be satisfied with why? The universe doesn't work like that. The universe is not satisfied. The universe is constantly changing. You don't have to be satisfied. You could just flow with the universe and know that things are going to change. Everything is momentary. What is no longer here no longer exists. You can change it. You can change your life by simply choosing to ride the wave of change. Right? It's the fountain of youth. That should interest everybody. You want to live a long life with the least amount of existential angst. Are challenges so huge that they almost kill you? Then just know that things are going to change. Prepare yourself for change. And be fearless. Easier said than done? Sure. But I bet you there's something today that you can pick, like one thing you could pick today, and just change that one thing that would make a world of change within a year. Maybe that's that extra half mile or actually doing those push-ups in the morning or really listening to your friends, calling a loved one and just telling them that you love them, or chasing your dream harder than you did yesterday. All those things can work, but they take work. And it seems like the formula is as long as you understand that work is what it is you laying down steps to get to the next thing, and that's all it is. Maybe you can make yourself excited about work. And that seems like the formula, right? Get excited about the work. That will just naturally toughen you up. You won't know how tough you are. Like, you'll just be doing the work all the time. And then when you have those moments of success or what you deem as success, sit in that moment, take it in, breathe it in, and then get back to work. The clock's ticking. Every Wednesday, right here, Platform Collection. My name is KILLcRey. This show is produced by OG Hip Hop Eddie. Shout out to OG Hip Hop Eddie. Shout out to our guest today, El Niño. Make sure you follow him. El Niño Sabe. I believe it is. In fact, I'm going to look it up right now. I don't want you to leave without following El Niño. Yep. El Niño Sabe. S-A-B-E. So ELNINOSABE. El Niño Sabe. Boom, right there on the screen for you. Yeah, man. He's out there killing it. Follow him. Shout out to him. And then tune in next week for our special Thop Fest episode. I'm going to attempt to do it. I don't even know how that's going to work. I think I'm just going to walk around, maybe take you on the journey with us for Thop Fest, and then interview a bunch of the homies. Because the bill is stacked. The bill is stacked. You know what? Hold up. Before you go, did I even tell you who else is on the stage that we're on? Let's see. That's the main stage. Right here. Common Ground stage. Chewy, Soundtrack, King Orca, Lisa Vasquez, Propaganda, Sadistic, and No are closing the show. Come on. Cam Archer. So many. Hosted by Curtis King, Young Miss, Nishan. Oh, man. The homies. It's going to be like a huge party. Really is. Going to be crazy. ThoughtFest.net. We'll see you guys next week for a special episode. Chris sees the internet. Shout out to the whole Platform Collection team. Go watch the other shows. By the way, B-Block, my partner in crime, rhyme, beats, Gene Flo from the Invisible Ponchos has a show right here on this network called Beat Block. And it's all producer radio with video. You get it. Playing dope, amazing producers from all over the world, really. They're international now. People sending in music from Sweden and España. But if you're a producer, man, it's become a great community there. They trade beats, and he plays anything you send in. He hasn't had the joke beat yet. You got to know that's coming, right? Not trying to put that out into the ethos or anything, but I would assume that the moment he said, I'll play anything, people already thought of the joke beat. But it'll be a thing. It'll be a moment. You heard it here first. Gene Flo, Beat Block TV, Platform Collection, and then the Heartful Truth. The new season is back. Melly, 7 Octobers, in-depth interviews from the heart and the brain. So I guess interviews, but they go in depth. People cry on their show. It's like that. And we'll keep doing this. We'll see you guys next week. That was the internet, and I saw it.
I need some space in this place, so I can't control it. Yeah, I ain't got no room in me, guys.